I don't like the birthday flow, and I'm going to explain why. So the birthday flow, I audit lots of emails accounts, and a bunch of them are very well developed. They have lots of different flows, very precise, and then they have a birthday flow. Some of them are very bare bones, and they still have a birthday flow. So what bothers me about that is the birthday flow does not drive a lot of revenue by any means. It is very, very low on the list of high performing flows. So why do so many brands have it? I think it's something where this information about the secret birthday flow that no one else was doing was floating around the internet. And since then, it's spread a lot. And so now everyone's doing a birthday flow. I just want to mention this is not one of the core flows. And by core flows, I mean flows that actually make you money. This birthday flow is fun. It's a fun thing. It's a nice to have, but it's not a need to have. And the amount of brands that ignore the boring need to have flows just to build a birthday flow is impressive. And I think this is something that people don't know, is that the birthday flow doesn't actually drive that much money. If you think about it, your customers are going to get the birthday flow at a maximum of once per year. So you're going to have to share their birthday with all the other brands that are sending birthday flows, which now is a lot of them. So you're going to have to compete for this inbox space, compete for their attention on this one day. And maybe it's a day where people want to treat themselves, I'm not sure. But either way, there's an increased competition for the inbox space on that day. And so it's once per year, right, for every customer. If you think about other flows that are behavior-based, they could happen a lot more, and also at a time where people are more likely to buy. So one example, because everyone has the checkout flow, right? The abandoned cart flow, most brands have that one, and it's also the most profitable one. So that's good, right? That's something that I don't need to talk about. But what about the post-purchase experience? A lot of brands have an underdeveloped post-purchase flow setup. They don't have upsells that are working very well. They don't have review collection. They don't advertise any loyalty or incentives to either spread the word or reorder, whenever the product runs out, depending on what kind of product you have. So there's ignoring these opportunities that I would say are at the top of the priority list of emails, and at the top of the emails that have the highest potential, because those are emails that are, really drive value for the customer and also drive value for you by converting more people. The birthday flow is nowhere near any of these, and yet a lot of brands choose to focus on that one, and I think it's because they don't know that the birthday flow isn't driving a lot of revenue. So this video is just to kind of reset the priorities and re-enhance the importance of setting priorities when you have your emails. It's very easy to waste lots of time when you build out emails. You can spend hours developing these segments and flows and splitting them and A/B testing the splits and doing all these crazy things. And then at the end, you look at it after 3 months and the flow has gone out to 7 people. And you get upset and you get disappointed because you've put in all this work and you've made 0 from it, and then you think, oh, email doesn't work that well for me, when really it's this is why it's important to spend time building a good plan in the beginning and focusing on what is actually going to drive money and how can I, with the least amount of effort, get the maximum amount of revenue. And then once you've covered all the things that have, maximum revenue for minimal effort, then you move on to the next thing, which is a little bit more effort, a little bit less revenue, right? And then you get into this diminishing returns thing. But you have to cover the first step of the pyramid first, right? You have to cover the step that is going to get you the most sales volume before you go really narrow. So this is why I just wanted to make this video in case you're thinking about building a birthday flow and you're missing other opportunities such as post-purchase upsells, right? Post-purchase upsells, review collection, reorder / win-back flows, referral, loyalty, anything you might have post-purchase. And I'm focusing on post-purchase here because a lot of brands don't have that set up very well. But obviously, if you don't have the browse abandonment or the cart abandonment flow set up, you should have that. Your welcome flow, welcome pre-purchase and post-purchase, those should be developed before the birthday flow. And by developed, I mean, more than 3 emails in those flows, because these are the flows that you really build a relationship with your customers. You should also have a campaign strategy that is at least consistent, at least once per week, at the very least, before you start even thinking about birthday flows. So once per week, ideally twice per week, would be the best. Once you're there and you have those flows set up, that frequency in campaigns consistently every week with no exceptions, then you can start thinking about birthday flows. That's how low a birthday flow is going to be on your priority list. So yeah, I just saw a lot of brands prioritizing the birthday flow to a degree which I think is very much exaggerated and kind of counterproductive, because you're just going to get frustrated because you're not going to make a ton of money from email, and then you're going to feel like email doesn't work. You're going to stop, and you're going to leave even more money on the table because you're not building these flows because you think it doesn't work. So I hope this helped. It's not to be against birthday flows as a whole. If you have it set up, that's great, keep it. But if you're thinking about building it and you haven't built the other things that I just talked about, do those first, and you will make a lot more money than with a birthday flow. Thank you for watching.